What's going on, everybody? My name is Eason. Welcome back to another video. And today, guys, we're going to be getting into consequences of centrifugal and centripetal forces. So we learned about what they were earlier into the course of AP Human Geography. Now we'll learn about the consequences of them. And you probably have an idea of what these consequences are. So just to review, centrifugal forces divide a state, while centripetal forces bring together a state. Could bring together a group of people or divides a people. Centrifugal divides, centripetal bring together. Think of F, the bad F word. Think of divide, because division can be a very bad thing for a state. So think of that when trying to remember the concepts. Example of centrifugal forces are national diversity. So you have diversity of nations in your state. Uneven development. We see this in the United States. This is a centrifugal force in the United States. There's uneven development across the country. I mean, it's a huge country. You should expect uneven development. And then territorial disputes. That's a centrifugal force in the India-Pakistan area over who owns Kashmir. But that's a centrifugal force there. And we got centripetal forces. A strong national government. The government is not neglecting its duties. A common culture in history. So that's a centripetal force. I guess that's a centripetal force in India. They have the common culture, and then they got common history. And then equal development. So basically the opposite of uneven development is equal development. If we see equal development across our state, we're going to be seeing centrifugal forces. That means equal development is a centrifugal force. Now let's get into some failed states, which are the first effect of centrifugal forces. We're going to go over 3 or 4 effects of centrifugal forces and 3 or 4 effects on centripetal forces. So, failed states, which is an effect of centrifugal forces. This is when the government is no longer fulfilling its duties and authority over its territories, basically neglecting its job as the government. Some examples of failed states is Afghanistan, Syria, and Yemen. I spelled Yemen wrong. I'm sorry if that offends anyone. But those are some examples of failed states. The government is no longer functioning like it's intended to. It's not fulfilling what it's supposed to do. And there's problems there. Uneven development. Actually, I want to go back to failed states. What could be a cause of failed states? Of course, we learned centrifugal forces, but what specific centrifugal forces? Well, I think we could think conflict. This doesn't necessarily have to be ethnic or religious conflict. Just a conflict in general could lead to a failed state. That's probably the main one. Yeah, basically, that's actually the main one. But division could lead to a failed state. Not necessarily, like violent conflict, like we want this, no, we want this. But division of a state could lead to a failed state as well, if the state is kind of dividing into 2 groups. Alright, then we go into uneven development. Let's get into this now, which is an effect of centrifugal forces. This is where economic development is not equal throughout the state, and this could be smaller or larger in different reasons. Natural disasters are a major cause of unequal development. If one country is at the coast and a hurricane hits and it wipes out all the stuff, and they're in the other side of the country, which is inland, does not have any issues, and it's still developing, that could be unequal development as well. And there we go. And then, of course, natural disasters are a centrifugal force. And as we can see here, human development in the southern states, so, Texas, Florida, Virginia, Louisiana, Arkansas, Tennessee, those are some southern states. We can see that development is lower there than, up north. You see, like, in Maine, Connecticut, New York, Massachusetts, we see development. We see development in Michigan, California, all of those states. All these states with the blue and white and orange have development. Then those with, low development, your red states, are primarily red states. So I can see Alabama, Texas, Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi. Those are all going to be low developments. Now, one thing to think of is this is the hurricane region, actually, of the United States. So hurricanes could be a cause, which is a centrifugal force, of unequal development. But we can see here, this is an example of unequal development. Now let's get to stateless nations, which is an effect of centrifugal forces. This is when minority groups or other nations are not represented politically, may want to establish their own state. So the Kurds are an example of this. The Palestinians. Oh god, I can't speak today. But this is an example of a stateless nation. Kind of near the Israel area, Middle East area. They've wanted their own state for a while. They actually, I think, promised it one time, and then that promise never really came true. I guess states should learn to keep their promises. However, this is an effect of a centrifugal force. I guess, like the Palestinians, not necessarily them, but other stateless nations, maybe a minority group. Usually this is a minority group. And since diversity is a centrifugal force, if they're not politically represented, then they might want to own state. They want their sovereignty, and that's an effect of centrifugal forces. Now let's get into, I think, our last effect of centrifugal forces, which is ethnic nationalist movements, which is the movement for an ethnic group in hopes of separation or autonomy in a state. So they're having a movement because they want autonomy in a state, separation from a state. They want to, so they're like, all right, we live here, however, we are a part of this state. We want to have our own state. I guess we could see some ethnic nationalist movies with the Kurds, the Palestinians. I think that's how you say it. We can see ethnic national movements with them because they want sovereignty. They want their own nation state. They're in pursuit of it. So we can see ethnic national movements in those areas where they reside in. Now let's get into our effects of centripetal forces. Our first one, ethnonationalism. Ethnonationalism, which is basically the possession of national identity based on an ethnicity. So, we have a picture of India, the Indian government, the Hindu ethnicity. A lot of decisions and possession of the nation, the Hindu, is based off of the Hinduism. So, the Indian government is basing its decisions off, the Hindu culture, the nation who speaks Hindi, follows Hinduism, all of that. Ethnonationalism, so this common culture, which has common history, common religion, all of these centripetal forces, this can result in ethnonationalism. In this case with India, they're going to make their governmental decisions based off of this nation. So India is going to get that national identity as, like the Hindu area, or Hindi area, however you want to say it. Then we got infrastructure development. Equal infrastructural and economical development across the country. That's an effect of centripetal forces. We can see the creation of urban areas as well. So as an economy is rising, as a state is earning money, urbanization starts to happen. We saw this with the past couple hundred years with the creation of modern day states like the United States. We saw urban areas start to develop from your farm rural areas, and we have more urban cities than ever. So centripetal forces can create infrastructure development, and we see this with the creation of urban areas. We can also see more transportation. So you don't have to walk everywhere. Trains is a huge part of infrastructure development. In India, there's a past FRQ on I think, an effect of centripetal force. The railroad in India is such a big thing in India right now because of infrastructure development. It's centripetal forces, the common stuff, the common religion, the common culture, the common language, all of that can lead to more transportation. You can also see more job opportunities. I mean, people gotta work in those urban areas. Now let's get into increased cultural cohesion, which is basically just the unity of a culture. If in a centripetal force is, of course, the common culture. So we could see unification of a culture if there's a common culture in a state. And then political and economical decisions are based off that culture, and with increased cultural decisions. We see that with India as well. Alright, and that's the end of the video. Just go check out the screen and complete it. It'll help you. That's all I got for you. If you guys want to join my Discord server to teach people to do things or to learn something new yourself, the link's in the description down below. Please subscribe. It really does help me out. Like the video. Leave a comment with your criticism. I love criticism. And other than that, I'll see you soon. Adios.